Imagine your editing is so good that your viewers can't resist watching until the end. I want that for you. So I've boiled down my years of editing experience into a 3-step formula. By the way, you'll have to take notes today because we are going way deeper than basic things like cutting out dead space. Editing is so much more than that, and let's be real, your video deserves so much more than that. A great editing style may get you perfect watch time and millions of views, but it may also leave you with terrible view counts and broken dreams. You create a video and upload to social media, but you get almost no views. But why? Because of this 3 reasons. So this is my 3-step for improving your editing. First step, visual variety. Suppose you make a cool video, with some flashy effect and transitions. Think like this. In your timeline, you have your videos, effects, and other stuffs. You need to ask yourself, do this thing help the story flow better? If yes, keep it. If no, cut in. We did not need unnecessary stuff because we need room to breathe. Which lead us to our second step, immersion hacks. Even without cutting to new clips, you can add spice to keep viewers immersed. Movement. Add slow scale or zoom or position changes to still clips. Abrupt zooms. Use quick zooms on A-roll to emphasize important points. Captions. Only use them for emphasis or when there is nothing else on screen. Keep them to 3 words or less for readability. Guiding attention. Don't just show an image. Guide the viewer using blurs, darkening edges, subject glows, or shifting colors. Red for negative, green, yellow for positive. But if the video were to switch between A-roll, B-roll, and other types of footage every few seconds, it would keep attention much better. However, there is a drawback to changing what's on screen too much. Try to notice it as we go over how different types of footage should be used to maximize engagement. A-roll. This is when you can both see and hear the subject at the same time. It feels personal and holds attention really well if you're speaking with confidence. Use it for short periods of time when you're saying something important. B-roll. This is extra footage recorded separately from the audio. It creates a visual depiction of your words, letting the viewers see what you're talking about instead of just having to look at your face. This lets you get things across much clearer and faster too. It's more interesting than A-roll, so use it as much as possible. Some variants of B-roll are stock footage, which is just a lazy version, and motion graphics. These improve explanation times a ton. That's the sort of editing choice you need to make to create an addictive video. There's a whole nother sense for your viewer to experience the video in. Step 3, immersive audio. Sound design makes the viewer experience every cut, transition, animation, and piece of footage through a second sense. It's literally double the stimulation. It can be used to influence the mood that the viewer has, which is an engagement superpower. The first step of sound design is to gather a bunch of sounds to work with. Next, go through your video and basically just add sound effects wherever it makes sense. When something moves, you should add a whoosh sound, and when something's highlighted, a highlight sound. Now comes the engaging part. These next 3 types of sound effects literally hijack your viewers' emotions and suck them into the video. 1. Risers. They build tension and anticipation because they communicate to the audience that something really important is about to happen, but only use them if something important is actually going to happen, or else they will lose their reputation and won't be effective. 2. Hits. They release tension and emphasize moments, making them feel important. You can use these on their own, or place a riser before them. 3. Drones. They create a feeling of mystery and intrigue. They're reserved more for darker moods, creating a lot of underlying suspense. These sound effects are so good because they kind of manipulate the viewer's emotions, which is so powerful, because the more emotionally invested the viewer is, the more engaged they are. And these sound effects are just the tip of the iceberg. Below the surface is a massive potential for emotional investment, your music choice. For example, I like to find songs that create a feeling of anticipation, which makes the viewer constantly believe I'm about to say something super important. Then, during a segment where I'm giving groundbreaking advice, I use a song that gives an innovative feeling, which creates a ton of excitement over what I'm saying. This is super straightforward to pull off. Separate your video based on subject changes and then decide the mood the viewer should have for each subject. By the way, you should spend a lot of time finding the right music because it is really important that it fits. This is going to sound crazy, but there's even more you can do with your music choice. Like, what do you think happens if you pause the music abruptly? The sudden change will jolt the viewer, getting their attention. Also, the lack of music brings attention to other parts of the video. So for special moments, try pausing the music to elevate that moment. Now, what if instead you let the music slowly fade out? Once the viewer notices that the music is going away, they'll understand that the segment they're watching is coming to a close. This realization gives them anticipation of something new coming. Okay, let's get even more advanced. Beyond just making the mood of the song match the tone of the segment it's in, upgrade your music by syncing the hits and dips of the song to the video. For example, in this segment, I introduced the problem here and began teaching the solution here. I lined things up so that at this exact moment, the music picks up. Doing that marks a clear topic shift from problem to solution, and also makes the solution segment more exciting. And if you're wondering why I have 4 music tracks playing at the same time, it's because I downloaded the separate elements of the song. Alright, I hope that helped. Now there's a lot more to mastering animation, so click here for a video on